Mr. Rama.
Well, congratulations to the organisers of this excellent meeting, and thank you everybody for coming out on this winter night. And I think this is very important because it's the cornerstone of what I'm trying to say tonight. That is, an engaged community is a powerful community, and I think this is a clue to us moving forward to anywhere decent in the future. First of all, I'd like to pay my respects to the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the people whose land this is and continues to be. This was land that was never ceded, it was stolen from them. And I pay my respects to elders past and present, and to any Aboriginal people who are in the room today, because it's a tribute, you know, that you're to the Aboriginal people as a whole, the communities who survive what has been viciously thrown at your communities for the last 278 years. Now, Uncle Ken Canning, who heads our Senate ticket in this election in New South Wales, often says, you know, we make these declarations at the beginnings of our speeches, but if you don't mean it, you really shouldn't say it. If you don't respect the Aboriginal people, don't say it. And I think part of this respecting, he says, is you've got to listen to what people are saying. At the heart of the platform we're taking to this election is an appeal for our society to return to the values of community and respect for land and nature that really the First Nations people all around the world have been crying out for societies all around the world to do. Our society is currently on the road to disaster if it keeps following the path of putting profit before just about everything else. This path of unbridled corporate greed is truly eating up our future. It's already made, I think, the political debate in this election quite irrational, and it threatens even to resurrect Pauline Hanson and other political monsters from the political deep. Because I think it is truly an irrational political discussion that we're having, by and large. If we were having a rational political discussion in this election, then I think two words would not have the power to suspend rational thought and sane debate. These two words are boats and debt. Now, I'm not going to talk about the boats word today. I'm happy to answer any questions about that later on. Instead, I want to talk about debt, public debt in particular, because I think this is worth thinking about. I don't think many candidates in this election are prepared to come out and say this, but I'm going to say it. I think we have to face up to the fact that our society has to get more seriously into debt. Now, why do I say this? It's because of the seriousness of the climate change crisis. We need to make urgently massive public investments in making a total reorientation of our society if we are serious about climate change. We have to go out and tax those notorious tax-dodging multinationals like Chevron, Google, Apple, Microsoft, and all the rest. Sure. We need to divert money away from dangerous things, the billions of dollars that are going into weapons of death, and devote them instead to addressing climate change, all that. But we're going to need much more money than we can get by re-diverting this sort of spending. That's the truth of the matter. And I think our society has to face up to it. For example, just to do a transition to a 100% renewable baseload energy, and I think this is a task I don't understand. You know, if our society was serious about climate change, we would have already started this process. It's been estimated by Beyond Zero Emissions, an excellent group, that it will take an investment of roughly $37 billion for 10 years in a row, $370 billion all around. And at the end of that process, we could transition to 100% baseload renewable energy. And I think it's been demonstrated to be technologically feasible for us to do this and completely phase out from our dependence on coal or oil or gas or anything, or any fossil fuels. Further, we need to spend billions more dollars on expanding and improving public transport in all our cities. And indeed, we need to start building the very fast train connections between cities instead of commissioning yet another study. That's what Anthony Albanese has put forward, yet another study into a very fast train. And instead of spending billions of dollars on crazy get our corporate mates rich schemes, shift the traffic jam scams like WestConnex, we should be spending that money on these sort of projects. As people here probably have heard, just a fraction of the 17 billion that is to be wasted on WestConnex could near double the rail capacity in Sydney. Well, we need to spend billions of dollars more on houses. Basically, we have to liberate it from the market of greedy speculators. And I'm not talking about investing just a little bit more money in a bit more welfare housing, but to invest in a large-scale expansion of quality, ecologically sustainable housing for ordinary working people. There are cities in other parts of the world where this has happened, where housing has begun to be freed up from the housing market that doesn't deliver housing, and we need to do it here. Now, these are all huge changes, you might say, and so who's going to do it? Both major parties seem to be totally committed to the same course of action. The course of action that has seen our social services destroyed over the last 3.5 decades, that has transferred an estimated $3.6 trillion from wages to profit. Now, this is a huge class robbery that has gone on under both Labor and Liberal government. That's the fact, that's the truth. Well, it's going to take a much stronger community, and this is where I want to end off. And this is why I congratulate you, because what you see here today, if it's replicated around in community after community, is the sort of people's power that can be the building blocks for a total reshaping of society and the way we are going. So I have confidence. I have confidence in change. I think the clock's ticking, but I think we can do it. You have more power than you think you have. Thank you.